The University of Detroit Mercy presents another brand new episode of Ask the Professor, the radio show on which you match wits with University of Detroit Mercy professors in an unrehearsed session of questions and answers. Today's program was recorded using Zoom video conferencing technology.
The University Tower chimes ring in another session of Ask the Professor, the show on which you match wits with the University of Detroit professors in an unrehearsed session of questions and answers. I'm your host, Matt Maggio, and let me introduce to you our panel for today. All the way in the upper left, it's a surprise, Professor Stephen Manning.
Why is it a surprise? I'm never upper left.
It's been a while.
Been a while. Okay.
How are things going, Stephen?
Well, if you've been watching baseball lately, you know how things are going. If
I was not going to bring it up.
If I act a little despondent, you'll know why. I've been practicing taps on the piano all day, and perhaps the only one that could hear if I play tonight is probably Beth. She's the closest neighbor. If you hear it is ringing out in the late evening hours tonight, you'll know what that's about.
Yeah, he's a big Atlanta fan.
We remain hopeful. We remain hopeful. But to lose 2 games at Fenway when they had this thing in control is
not good.
It's typical. This is exactly what we expect because it's what we get almost every single year. So
sorry to
but
hear
you
that.
still remain a fan.
Oh, of course, yes.
Your tears will flood Woodward this evening, won't they?
Give us something to complain about.
Stephen,
Best
what's
thing about being a fan.
what's the dog doing back there? Is he? Oh, okay, he's resting. Okay, all right. I wanted to make sure he was not getting into anything.
He's knitting. He's knitting.
This is
The dog getting into something, whatever.
No.
Hey,
Not
we've
our
got
sweet boy.
Professor Dave Chow is here with us today.
Pleasure to be here, as always.
How are things going? You got your CCS hat on, I see.
I got my CCS hat on, my Mezzanine Tiger shirt, and my Corktown hoodie, so I'm covering all my bases. So
all the bases are covered. That's great.
Darn right.
So something about siding, Dave, from like right out the window behind you or something?
Yeah, you got your garage done.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
This early afternoon, and they're starting on the north side of your house right about now. So it's looking good.
Great. Winter's coming. What can I say?
They
That's
better
like,
get the.
I just write the checks.
Matt has sold one of his children's kidneys already, so that's good.
That's right.
Only 2 of them. Only 2 of them. We're joined today by Professor Stephanie Conant. It's been a while. We're glad to have you.
Yay!
Yay.
You can thank Dave for the reminder. He messaged me and was like, any chance? And I was like, oh, thank you for the reminder. I think I can
How's the
squeeze one in.
semester going?
Uh-huh.
How's the term going?
Week are we in? Is this week 9, 8, whatever?
900.
I have like a
6 or
Friday
7.
dance that every
Yeah.
Friday is like, yes, made it through another one. So,
That's a
It's
big deal.
Friday. We do the happy dance. It's Friday.
Yeah.
We do the happy dance.
I shouldn't be that excited that
There-
check off
there
another
were-
week, but-
There were many smiles, Stephanie, on the screen when I said, please don't ask me to make a decision. And yours was, I believe, the broadest. So I think...
Are you still chair, Stephanie, of biology? You're like, oh my God, yes.
oh, my.
Look, that's priceless.
Mhm.
It's been an interesting semester of having to do many more things than we are used to doing.
If I could just have a full cohort of faculty, that would be fine. I just haven't had a semester with everybody there in about 4 semesters.
That's right. Oh,
Eesh.
that's exactly right.
That's
It's
hard.
hard. It is
Yeah.
very difficult. We will do our best to fill the emptiness inside of you with laughter.
Thank you.
Or food. One of the
Some
two.
of that laughter will come from Professor Mara Livezey. Oh,
Such
no.
sincerity.
Some of that authentic laughter will come from.
Oh man,
How's it going, Mara?
I'm so happy it's Friday and I don't have to do any grading all weekend. The only work I have to do is watch Get Out and prepare to teach about a movie.
All right.
Actually,
Oh, cool.
Mara, I'm so busy the next week plus that you're gonna have to teach the whole class on Monday. I'm just letting you know.
Wow. Wow. And a
Yeah.
good choice, by the way, for this time of year. Some nice light horror for
Oh.
all.
Actually, Mara, you don't have to do anything too large. There's plenty of, you could just participate in the discussion. I mean, that's totally fine. You don't have to do a huge thing. Like
I'll certainly
Prasad,
prepare something.
yes, that would be great. I mean, we started our conversation last week. Excuse me while I have a little side conversation here. And Prasad had so much to talk about last week. It was a little overwhelming, but at least you're coming in to talk about a film that the kids have watched or the students have watched. So thank you.
Sweet.
They will be ready.
Prasad had a lot to say.
No, him?
I'm shocked.
Not that Prasad,
What,
I'm-
the
who is he
UDM
talking about?
wallflower?
Yes. that's right.
What movie did he do?
Unforgiven.
Unforgiven.
Really?
He's lived it. So I
That's,
mean,
I would not have picked that for him.
I know, isn't that interesting?
It is
I'm
very
just-
interesting.
I'm discovering that a lot of our colleagues are interested in films that you would not necessarily match up with them.
Still waters run deep,
It's
That's right.
very-
as they say.
That's right.
About
Now I
Prasad.
noticed, Professor Heather Hill, that you left I almost said cube, your square, to go back and get your Red Sox hat. So
Well,
we know for a long time where your loyalties lie.
I'm at this point, I don't normally, I'll do anything at this point,
Yeah.
so,
careful,
Agree.
careful.
yeah,
Have to bring up the last game, which of course didn't go very well for Boston. In one of the opening shots, I thought it was kind of gutsy by Fox to show a fan in the stands holding a big poster board. This is my second sign. The Astros stole my first one. And I
Saw
was
that.
like,
Saw that. Great sign.
get into a little politics there.
I think the Fox, guys are a little bit anti-Red Sox too.
I
And
think
some
so
of those
too.
calls, some of those home plate calls were really going against the Sox. So
No comment at all.
why not?
There was a time when my dream World Series was going to happen about a week ago, and now it's going to be my anti-dream World Series.
The Nightmare World Series.
Well, yeah, thank you. And those, of course, are the dulcet tones of Professor Beth Oljar.
Hello, good to be here.
What's going on? Thank you very much. We'll be hearing from the coming weeks and months. You encouraging your students to send some questions in, which we'll be tackling in a few weeks. That was great, Beth.
And they've asked me about the extra credit, so
As always.
just I know. Just wanted to check it. Thank you for sending me that list of names.
Sure. I needed to go and help Michael and clear out the old ATP inbox, and so we took care of that today too.
Awesome.
Continuing around the horn, Dan Maggio is here with us today.
Hi, Matt. Hi,
What's
everybody.
going on, Dan?
Not much. It's Friday.
Yay.
And how is it that you don't have to do any grading this weekend, Mara? That's all
Oh my
I'm going to be
gosh.
doing. I'm so envious. I'm sure it's because you masterly planned something.
No, this is Mara's week for taking bribes.
I've been grading every single night. That's why.
Ah, okay.
Oh,
How
I wish-
responsible of you.
I wish I had the wherewithal to do that. Now, here is a man who has an interesting and sometimes, difficult job. I'm not going to say like it's like too difficult, Dan, but I bet you really don't miss grading, do you?
I don't. I used to grade. I used to always try to be a good teacher and grade, in a timely fashion. But I cannot tell you the number of Sunday nights and Monday mornings at 5 a.m. I was on my couch finishing up the grading so that I can have it ready for class on Monday. So
Oh,
I probably don't miss that. The one thing that I'm grateful for is I don't have to read. I never had to read. So being math, and skip all that
Sure.
reading
Sure.
stuff.
That's a reason why I love teaching symbolic logic.
Multiple choice,
Very graphical.
true, false.
Very graphical.
I actually use a lot of multiple choice and true false questions in
Well, that's good.
philosophy. So, but yeah, I mean, with symbolic logic, I don't have to read papers, which I think is
Right.
what you were talking about. Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
Right.
So I don't miss. I miss the students, but I don't miss the grading.
Continuing with the theme of missing students, but probably not missing the grading, our last panelist, but not our least panelist, is Professor Jim Tubbs.
Hello. Yeah,
How's it
I'm in the
going,
middle
Jim?
of grading midterms myself.
Mhm.
I'm sitting beside a big stack of essay questions.
Well,
What I'm looking at.
That's the part I still have yet to grade. 30 of them.
Ay. Just nothing makes it go faster, except for maybe alcohol, and then the grading gets too interesting. So
Then you become really honest. So that's probably not good.
Right.
Well, when you're reading prose, it's such an interpretive process to say, is this anywhere close to what I'm looking for? You know?
Right.
Or is it coherent English? Is
Right.
it a,
Oh,
you
well,
know.
that too.
right, exactly.
have a
Hey,
subject
folks.
and a verb and everything?
Ooh.
Is it coherent English? Like 1 point. Folks, this is a program where you can send us questions regarding anything. If you stump the panel, you win a prize. If you don't stump the panel, you win a prize. Send us the questions in a number of ways. You can email us at atp@udmercy.edu now that the inbox is cleaned out. Find us on Facebook and Instagram, or listen on your favorite smart speaker by asking it to play Ask the Professor at University of Detroit Mercy. So I think that we could have some fun with this. It's another classic sort of internet article, and it's got some interesting twists to it. Let me set this up here. Given that it runs to more than 250,000 words, there's a good chance the English language will probably have the word you're looking for. But when it comes to describing hard to describe emotions, much is made of the English language shortcomings. We either have to turn to foreign languages to describe situations, like coming up with the perfect comeback when the moment has passed, which for the record is very well-known emotion in French, esprit d'escalier, or else use resources like the brilliant but sadly entirely fictitious Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows. I don't know if you've ever seen Meaning of Liff. You'll have to check that out. So vast is the English language that words for feelings and emotions to describe the human condition have actually found their way into the dictionary. There's no need to call that comeback esprit d'escalier. There we go. Because the word afterwit has been used in English since the late 16th century. Here are 15 obscure English words to describe feelings that are otherwise undescribable. And I just think we should have as much fun as we possibly can have with this. Holy smokes. A superb Scots dialect has given us the cruchy poochles. What are you feeling when you feel the cruchy poochles?
Oh, it sounds like an intestinal bug.
The EVP.
A hangover.
You gotta poop really bad.
Like,
You're feeling
Like
it.
the Jay and Silent Bob things, Gucci's or whatever.
Nice, nice.
somebody has screwed the pooch.
Beth, is this
No,
something
but-
where you have to clean out the litter box?
You know what I'm going to do? Beth and Jim, we're just sort of collaborating on okay, if you can put a sentence together and it has subject verb agreement, we're going to give you not a zero, you know? I think that for a lot of these, the first thing you're going to do is go negative or positive on them. And you definitely have hit the bullseye on this is not a good feeling to have.
Oh.
I'll have to give it to you. It's a feeling of discomfort or perhaps fidgetiness that comes with sitting in a cramped position. So think middle seat of an airplane.
Okay.
Or Briggs classroom.
A Briggs classroom. Well, sometimes.
Yeah.
It depends.
In the dead of summer.
Yeah.
Oh.
How about NIKH, Nicodonia?
This is a-
Nicodonia.
A feeling?
It's a feeling.
Is that, wait a minute, I thought that was like a country next to Wakanda.
It is not.
Is it a feeling of nothingness, despair?
That's a good way to go.
Emptiness?
Actually, depending on your interpretation of our connotation here, this is actually a pretty positive feeling.
Oh.
It's a feeling of something that's about to happen that's good. Any
Anticipation.
guesses?
Expectation? Yeah, anticipation.
Very, very close.
It's
very, very
making
close.
me wait.
the best way to describe Nicodonia is you're about to win something. It's become clear that you're about to take all, win a board game, win a boxing match or whatever. So you get a little bit of a high from it, right?
I never get that feeling in the lottery line.
Me neither.
Well, after
We
watching
all-
after watching the Red Sox this last week, it's not a feeling I've had
Oh,
much of.
Oh,
geez. I didn't even
yikes.
think about
The
that. angle.
anti.
I've
Oh
had
my
that
gosh.
feeling a lot playing Trivial Pursuit. So
How about this one? Alysm, Alysm. It's definitely a weird word. Alysm. We've
Alysm.
all felt this multiple times over the last 19 months.
Really
frustration,
Stuck
depressed.
at home.
really depressed.
Cabin fever.
Cabin fever. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you that one. Boy, it's so pointed, but it's just perfect. And I feel like we all have to walk away with at least one of these words and start using it in our everyday speech. Alysm is specifically the feeling of restlessness or frustrated boredom that comes with being a little bit sick. And I think that most of us, if not all of us, have touched base with that over the last year. So,
Good Lord. Another one that relates to Briggs. Oh,
no, physically unwell. Come on. So do you know it's an old Yorkshire term, so I guess it's an English derivative. What a shive is? SHIVE. Does anybody know?
it's an herb. Oh, no. No, that's chive. Oh, my bad.
A knife made in prison.
It's a
Yeah.
shiv.
You know,
Shiv.
I got to give you a little bit on that because
Sit-
in old Yorkshire, it's
Sit
a
up.
tiny splinter. So there's
Oh.
a sense of like there being a point to something.
Oh,
So what do you think shiviness is? I'm feeling shiviness.
Prickly.
Yeah, pins and
Yeah.
needles.
On edge.
Yeah.
Pretty
Like
good.
sassy.
It's
Your
the
feet go to sleep.
The prickliness that occurs when you wear a new piece of clothing that touches your skin.
ooh.
Oh.
Shiviness.
Especially if
Wow.
it's wool or
That's-
horsehair.
That's very
Well,
Exactly.
yeah, in the
Yes.
16th century, your clothes might have been likely to cause that reaction.
Oh, bonus
You're-
points to Jim for bringing up the horsehair. That was awesome.
Yeah, the mohair underwear too, right? So
Mhm. Yep. How about one that I bet you can derive pretty easily? It's obviously French, not déjà vu, but déjà visite. Déjà visite.
To visit again. Well, let's see. The feeling like you've been there before.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Um,
actually specifically the peculiar sensation of knowing your way around a place that you think you've never been.
Right. Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little Twilight Zone-ish there. Absolutely.
Picture
Absolutely.
and beyond sight and sound. Had to do
Oh
it.
my gosh. How about this one, starting with a GW, Gwenders. I can tell you, to give you a little bit of a hint, that sadly, when I'm in my research office, like I am now, I get the Gwenders pretty much every day between just about now and the end of March.
You're chilled.
Specifically for what part of the body? There, I had to say it.
Your head.
Your hands.
Feet.
It's actually your fingers. When your
Oh.
fingers get
Finger.
cold, you've got the
When
Gwenders.
That's very specific.
It's very
What-
specific. You know?
what all the doctors have, huh?
Exactly. Oh my gosh. How about, have you ever heard the terms uneurophrenia and malneurophrenia? Greek, obviously.
Ooh, I'm kind of glad we dragged you along, Stephanie. This sounds it's in your corner.
Nope.
The first one starts with an EU for unophrenia, and the other one is MAL,
well, that's
malneuro.
good and bad.
Good and
something.
bad
Whatever,
something.
frenium.
Frenia, head shape,
yeah.
head contour. I don't know. I'm
You know,
thinking
that's pretty
phrenology.
Good face.
No, that's
Vibes.
really, really good. This is the specific emotion, unophrenia, the positive. You just woke up after having a good dream,
Okay.
and malnophrenia, you just woke up from having
After
a bad dream.
dream.
Yeah.
Oh,
Exactly.
okay.
Sorry, my cat is yelling at me.
Is that your
Sure.
Oh my gosh, that was
Wow.
wild.
That's right. You better feed it.
She's wasting away.
I'm sure.
Another one that we get from our friends across the pond in England, it's a hyphenated word, a lonesome fret. Lonesome fret. What would you be feeling?
Loneliness.
Nostalgia.
Something you find on your
Missing
guitar.
somebody.
Missing someone you love, right?
You're getting pretty close. It's really just a restlessness, specifically a restlessness that comes from being alone for too long. Like you can't handle it anymore. And I think a lot of us went through that under our lockdown. You know?
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say it sounded like a Willie Nelson album title or something like that. You know.
How about the horror vacui? Horror vacui.
Good God, another one sounds like an intestinal problem. Vacui.
Can you spell it?
Absolutely. Horror, HORROR, and a separate word, VACUI. I can give you a hint.
The fear of vacuums.
It's basically, you're getting close.
How you feel while you're preparing for a colonoscopy.
There you go.
Testify.
Is very specific.
Or how you feel after you've had Taco Bell for lunch.
How about we bring this back to center?
Oh.
And we go, this would have been something that the great painters of the Renaissance and thereafter would have had. Horror vacui.
Never thought they were good enough.
Fear of empty space.
That is exactly what it is. You have to fill the whole canvas. You can't not have a part used. So it's a fear of a vacuum. Yeah.
No, that used to be a thing we used to talk about with my illustration students. Because, if they had a canvas, like you said, they wanted to fill every square inch of it. We used to call it the Manhattan real estate theorem. That's all, where you had to develop every square inch of property. You couldn't leave anything empty.
Well, of course. What kind of an American are you? Oh, you're Canadian.
He's Canadian.
Thank you.
I'm telling you right now that this next one, besides the fact that it sounds funny and therefore probably will be the number one word that I remember from this exchange, huck muck, one word, huck muck, that I probably get this as a result of my individualized, peculiar mental state about once a month when I'm leaving home to go to work. You would feel huck muck.
You want to go back to sleep and get into bed.
That sounds good, but that's not what it is.
Is it like a craving for something?
No. Think about, you're getting ready to go somewhere that you do quite, often, like going to work or some other place.
You fear that you've left something
You
on.
forgot. Yeah, you forgot
something. Or
getting very, very close. The confusion feeling that you get when something is not where it always is. I get that all the time, and I hate it, by the way. I hate
kind of like driving down Woodward and looking over and seeing Dutch Girl neon not lit up.
Oh, that's very sad. That's very sad. I can go from 0 to 60 if I just put something down, quote unquote, in front of me. And then when I look, it's not there anymore. And that happens all the time in my house.
I like huck muck, though. What a cool, I like that word.
It's a cool word. It's a cool word. To finish us off here, you probably have actually heard this word before because it's absolutely hilarious on its own. They use it on The Simpsons actually quite a bit because it's in the dictionary. Crapulence. What is crapulence?
Is it? I'm assuming it's not what it sounds like.
No, it's not directly what it sounds like, but it's not positive connotation.
Does it have to do with something being of a crappy nature?
You are feeling sort of sick, yes, but the reason why you're feeling sick is where crapulence comes from.
Because you need to go to the bathroom.
Nope. Whoa.
Someone's been really mean to you.
Nope. It has to do with having done something previously in excess.
Drinking.
Drink too much?
Taco
Drank,
Bell.
smoked, eaten. Dan,
Donuts.
Barney Grumble.
watch too much TV.
Rating?
Come on. What else does Homer do, Dan? Come
Things
on.
in excess. This one we
Drinks a
got.
lot of beer.
Yeah.
No,
Donuts, doesn't
crapulence
he?
is someone basically said it. Crapulence is when it's a little bit further on, but you're like, oh, I'm not feeling well after having eaten a lot. You don't want to be wallowing in your own crapulence if you can get to that point.
It's a
Let me
good
just
life
put it that
rule,
way.
really.
Yeah.
Not to
Yeah.
wallow in your own crap.
That's right.
Okay. The time has come, and everybody's favorite time has come. Thanks to Frank Burrows and the Burrows family, we have what we now call the Ask the Professor Imponderables.
We need
Michael
a
put
sound
some
effect with that, don't we?
reverb on that. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. So this is, asking the profs what their favorite, something is. And we've done things like, I think, pizza topping before, but I don't know if we've ever talked about what is your favorite place to go and get a pizza from. We don't need to limit it to the Detroit area if we don't have to, but what's your favorite independent or smaller franchise pizza?
Ooh.
Certainly, when I was visiting Venice, there was this place on Lido. It's just a hole in the wall. I walked in, I got a pizza. I'd go there again if I could.
So Matt, are we
thanks.
talking individual slices or whole pies?
I mean, we can go either way.
Okay. All right.
I was going to fill in the gap by saying, and I don't know if Professor Livezey and I have ever talked about this, but there's not that many good Chicago-style pizza in the Detroit area. So by the time I was going to school in Urbana, like she did as well, we found Papa Del's, and Papa Del's is just a very unique Chicago style. It's not like you're eating, a 2-pound block of cheese. Very, very good stuff. And I've always wanted to do the thing where they would freeze it for you and then mail it to you overnight and then warm it back up in my oven. I think that would be fun someday, but it's a little pricey.
Well, I have
I
to
was
say,
more
I
of
still
a-
like Giordano's spinach stuffed pizza. I think
Sure.
that's great.
I was more of a Lou Malnati's person myself.
Lou Malnati's, of course.
Okay.
We had a place near Portland State called Hot Lips Pizza that sold pizza by the slice, New York style. So it was, it was thin. But Buddies too,
Of
for
course.
more
Always, yeah.
dish.
Kind of sad to see the headline this last week that Buddies has had to pare down hours at almost all its locations again for lack of staff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sign of the times.
Okay. The one that always comes to mind for me when I was in college, I worked at a silkscreen shop in Birmingham, and there's a Primo's Pizza up there.
Oh,
We used to get a
Primo's.
slice for $1, but then we'd bring it back and we'd have to go, grab like a roll of paper towels just to mop up all the grease, lest it stop our heart. So Primo's Pizza by the slice was always good.
I love it.
Dan's
Primo's
brought
is still
Primo's
around.
over here. Yeah, he's brought
Yeah.
that pizza over
Yeah,
here.
the,
Drew.
the 9 Mile location, which is currently closed.
Is
they
it?
They have good pizza. Yeah, they've been.
Oh, by the way,
Unfortunate.
Dan, next to it is a new Mexican place that
Yeah,
I've tried.
I've been there many times.
Yeah, it's not too bad. So
Delicious.
okay, we're wandering down
Stephanie.
Mexico.
What's up? What's up in the Clem? I mean, seriously, what's up in your area?
Cloverleaf.
Cloverleaf is good. That's not really close to us. Right down, we have Sorrento's right down the road, which is actually really good pizza.
Yeah,
And wings and shrimp. And so we
pasta's not bad
oftentimes do
too.
like pizza and wings. So
Nice.
they make their own hot sauce for their wings and
Oh
stuff.
my gosh.
Pretty good.
The in joke here, which I think we're all on board with, is even if I was asking you your favorite cartoon character from your youth, we would find our way to food sooner or later.
Always.
Steven, we haven't heard from you.
Locally, I like Como's,
Mhm.
and there's a place on John R. Green Lantern.
Green
Very
Lantern.
nice. But my favorite, if I had to choose one, it's a place in Phoenix. When I visit my brother, I think it's actually in Glendale, and it has the authentic, Italian certificate because of the ingredients they use.
Mhm.
And they don't give it to everybody, but people
You
have
get a
to go.
certificate with a pizza?
Well, the restaurant.
The
not
restaurant,
the
yeah.
restaurant, because they do things the authorized way. It's a Naples type of pizza. Delicious. I would choose that if I had to choose.
Pizza margarita.
Wait a minute.
Yummy.
That's a scam I got to get into. I got to get into like food authentication. Man, they offer licenses for legit food. Man, that's a deal.
Well, it's not really any different than, I mean, if you don't see Parmigiano Reggiano stamped on the rind of the cheese, that's how you know it's the real thing, right?
Yeah.
It's true. That's true. Heather, I think you're the last one we were waiting on.
I don't eat pizza.
What?
What?
Are you human?
That
You a
is so
Detroiter?
not true.
Oh,
She eats pizza.
You
Yeah.
are not human.
Pretty much what Steven said. I mean, we just got Como's the other night, and I didn't used to like Como's, but lately they've been creating some really good pizzas. I think they have new chefs or something.
They do.
The feta, spinach,
Right.
Mhm.
garlic
Oh.
one that we got the other night was just incredible. So Como's
Drew
was
likes
like-
Drew likes white pizza too.
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
it was,
Spinach.
Absolutely.
Has anybody here tried Sapinos downtown?
Yes. It's
The
great.
new
we
one
saw-
or the old one?
The original one in Eastern
The,
Market.
the original one's one of the best pizzas around. I think.
Yeah, because the one closer to where my wife works is a little subpar, I guess. So
So they're open?
yes, they are. Mhm, yeah.
Center? Hmm.
But Como's does
props.
the Detroit style pizza now. That's what they're doing, and so
Mhm.
they're doing a pretty good job, I think.
I think so too. It's
No
sort of a new
complaints.
take on it.
Yeah.
As much as I'd like to sit around and talk more about pizza, our
Food.
time is up and the time has come to say goodbye, Jim,
Goodbye.
Dan,
Goodbye.
Beth,
I'm now thinking about ordering pizza for dinner.
Heather,
Goodbye.
Mara,
Goodbye.
Stephanie,
Goodbye.
Dave,
See ya.
and Stephen.
Bye.
Now these words from University of Detroit Mercy. Ask the Professor is transcribed in, all of our homes, but usually it's in the Briggs Building in the Department of Communication Studies in the College of Liberal Arts and Education at University of Detroit Mercy's McNichols campus. Ask the Professor is produced and technically directed by Michael Jason and Brian Masonville, and our executive producer is Professor Jason Roach. Until next week, I'm your host, Matt Mayo.